Fight fans, fight fans, fight fans. This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news, finally, concerning Anthony Joshua, Oleksandr Usyk. This is the official fight prediction and fight breakdown, okay? Now, first off, I know you guys have been waiting for this a while. I do apologize. I've been kind of under the weather, as you guys know, so to speak. And I've been feeling better. And as I promised, when I start to feel better, I will do the breakdown and prediction of Joshua Usyk, okay? So here it is. And I would like to say, first off, I like both fighters. I think that AJ is fighting one of the best fighters that he could possibly fight. You know, the mandatory couldn't have went to any other fighter is with the pedigree of Usyk. He damn near has it all, okay? Damn near. Now I'm going to explain. Joshua and Usyk, I think, will be a very interesting fight. A very, very interesting fight for many reasons. For one, we will see Anthony Joshua be challenged once again from a shorter fighter, which shorter fighters have given him trouble at least 2 to 3 fights, okay? It's been a challenge for Joshua because since he is tall, he prefers taller fighters, okay? I've seen him better fighting Klitschko than someone like Ruiz because of the height. And that height difference is not a advantage for Joshua. It's actually an advantage for the shorter fighter, especially if they're able to slip and dip punches. Who's the shorter fighter? Oleksandr Usyk. Who's good at slipping punches anyway? Oleksandr Usyk. Who's good at defense? Oleksandr Usyk. Who's good at footwork? Oleksandr Usyk. Now, does that to take away from Anthony Joshua's footwork? No, I just think Oleksandr's is better. And I think the keys of victory starting off first for Joshua. Joshua has to come in and overwhelm Usyk. But at the same time, don't shoot your wad. Don't pull a Vladimir Klitschko. Okay, you get a knockdown and you think it's over because the fighter could always get back up. You better ask Vladimir. You better ask Ruiz because this could happen. And the worst things that we know that happened to Anthony Joshua was when the fighter got up after being knocked down by Anthony Joshua. Okay, so we have to look at that how it is. But I suggest that he sees what Oleksandr Usyk has early, okay, and just overwhelm him with power punches, hurt him early, knock him down early. Hopefully you can get a lead that you can maintain. Hopefully. But I think it would be best for AJ to go for a knockout. Show him who is boss. Show him the reason why you shouldn't have came to the heavyweight division. That's what Anthony Joshua should do. And attack with straight rights and right uppercuts. And he's good at both. Setting it up with the jab, of course, or leading with the right and the right uppercut. Especially if Usyk comes in trying to initiate attacks and throwing too many punches at one time. Okay? And be looking for the pull counter from Joshua as well, because that's going to be one of the things that I'm going to be looking for, because it went really well with a guy named Pulev, and he was awkward, and he had a great jab, okay? But this is coming from a southpaw, so it's going to be a different type of fight. But that doesn't mean he can't use that right hand, because that's the punch that he has to target on, okay? Throw some body shots in there as well. Try to take out energy and some of the air out of the tire from Oleksandr Usyk. That way you can slow him down, hopefully, in the later rounds. But we all know that AJ has a challenge when it comes to stamina. We don't know where it's at. A lot of people claim that he tired out in the Pulev fight at the like around 8 or 9 rounds. No, maybe 7 or 8. But he did pace himself enough to get his gas back or get his stamina back where it needs to be to end the fight. I think it was over in the 10th round anyway. Okay, maybe it was the 9th. However, Joshua has to come out early strong, at least to get a lead. to get the respect from Usyk. Because if he does come out like he did with Pulev, that may give Oleksandr Usyk what he wants. And what I mean by that is Oleksandr Usyk is he's not a very slow starter, but he's a slow starter. He's not a fast starter. Okay, what he pulled with Tony Bellew, yeah, it was strategy, but it naturally lined up with how he fights anyway. He wanted to feel out a fighter and see what a fighter has, to see what they're capable of doing. So if you shown Oleksandr Usyk everything you have in the first 2 or 3 rounds without hurting him or stunning him or any of that stuff, he's downloaded most of what you can do, just like Lomachenko does. And in fact, speaking of Lomachenko, he now has Papachenko. So maybe he might start a little faster. In that case, it'll be a ram versus a bull going in there. And that would be very interesting. But I would favor Joshua, unless Joshua gets hit with a pressure point, 5 pounds of pressure at any point in his head. Does that make him chinny? No, that happens to anybody and everybody in the heavyweight division. You better ask somebody, okay? But then there is exceptions to the rule, okay? So Oleksandr Usyk, if he's able to get out of the later rounds, I like him out tiring Anthony Joshua out. And if he can do that, if he can weather the storm with Anthony Joshua, fatigue makes cowards of men. So a combination of those fast, quick combinations, those overpowering combinations, if he can land and he can pick his spots with a tiring Anthony Joshua, he could get Anthony Joshua out of there 7, 8, 9, or 10. But that's only if Anthony Joshua is at a point where he's throwing a lot more punches than he needs to because he can't hit the target. People said and claimed, like Mike Tyson, that Tyson Fury is too elusive for Joshua. Well, if that's the case, Mike, so is Oleksandr Usyk. But we have seen Usyk get hit from Derek Chisora. So the chances are, if Derek Chisora can catch Oleksandr Usyk, so can Joshua. However, people, I believe, like Oleksandr Usyk, rises to the occasion. He understands what he's up against. So I don't think he has time to afford to get hit from punches like he did with Derek Chisora. He just didn't expect Derek Chisora to connect with a lot of those shots. But he still weathered the storm. And another thing about Oleksandr Usyk, as of now, has deemed to be durable. What I mean by that is he's never been down. He's never been noticeably rocked to the point where he looked like he was going down. Okay, so that's a good sign. So maybe he can weather the storm. But if Joshua can go out there and overpower Oleksandr Usyk, he could probably get him out in 4 or 5 rounds. That's if he does it right, if he finishes right, if he's not too apprehensive, because he may be that way like he was with Pulev, because Pulev was giving him he's awkward, so he took his time. The jab will be essential for both fighters. I like Anthony Joshua early if he can get his shots off. Straight rights, right uppercuts. Jabs to set up the straight rights, right uppercuts. I like Oleksandr Usyk late because if he can weather the storm, and Joshua felt that he should be out of there by now, but he's not, Joshua may be into some trouble, especially if he carries on too much weight. Now, the good thing is I haven't seen Joshua looking kind of too bulky. I've seen him shred down. He's going to need it. He will need the mobility. There's no sense of going in there big, bulky, and badass when you know you're in there against a guy that's nicknamed the Cat, okay? Because he's able to do a cat and mouse dance on you, and the game is come get me, follow me, and I will hit you in return, okay? That's what I see Oleksandr Usyk doing. So you got 2 sides to this story on how this could go. 1, Joshua early. 2, Oleksandr Usyk late. Or it goes to a technical decision, which I don't think any of them would want, but I think if it was a good fight, they both would respect. But anyway, that's my breakdown and prediction of Oleksandr Povetkin taking on Anthony Joshua. You guys tell me what you think. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.